Welcome everyone to the Senior Living 411 series. Today I have a very special guest here with me, Roxanne Francois. She is here with me on the 411 on senior fitness and wellness. So welcome Roxanne, thanks for joining us this Sunday evening on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Desiree. It's my pleasure.
That's great. That's great. Now, Roxanne is a registered holistic nutritionist. She's also a biofeedback specialist and a fitness professional. She specializes in providing nutrition and fitness programming for youth, adults, and seniors. Her interactive and creative workshops are designed to engage and educate her clients. Her fun-loving approach, and which you know Roxanne, she's very fun-loving, motivates clients to incorporate wellness in all areas of their lives. She also provides in-person and online nutrition counseling, and I'll be sure that we share that information as the show goes along. So Roxanne, before I even jump into what led, let's start where I normally start. What led you to the path? What led you to this path of being involved in your career in fitness?
Okay, it's very simple, but very complicated at the same time. I was a child that was riddled with asthma. I had asthmatic bronchitis, and I would go to school, and it was known that I was a fast kid. It was known that I was a strong kid. It was known all of those things. And each time they would go to my mother and say, can she run track? Can she be on this team? Can she be on that team? It was, no, with the asthma, we just can't do that. We can't run the risk. So I don't like the word no. So instead, I took up fitness. I took up aerobics, as you would call it. So every morning I would get up and do that 20-minute workout, and I would do that. And the favorite thing for me would be to go into gym class and show them what I could do. And eventually I left and started teaching in university and continued on and have been teaching fitness ever since, all different types of fitness. It's my love. So I love being active. I love movement. And so I just decided to take a shortcut and do that.
Yeah. And you know what? I love when I find people who are passionate about what they're doing. Like when you speak, you could just see it oozing, the passion oozing out of you as you speak about it. So people, you are in for a treat today, definitely. So Roxanne, registered holistic nutritionist. I'm going to break down all your different titles bit by bit so everyone fully gets an understanding of what you do. So let's start with the registered holistic nutritionist.
Okay.
What does that enable you to do for people?
That enables me to get an understanding of what is happening with someone. So people come to me with an ailment or with a problem or with a disease. And what I do is I look at their life holistically, and that word is completely it. So I look at what they're consuming, what they're taking into their body. I look at the way they're living their lifestyle, and I look at if there are various external factors that might be stressing their body and preventing them from achieving optimal health. So that is, it's like a three-pronged approach. So you've got to look at it all. It's never just one thing. And that's why I love holistic nutrition.
Okay.
So, Yes.
And biofeedback specialist.
Yes.
I've been waiting to ask this one.
Okay, so with biofeedback technology, what this does is it takes pulses in the body to get an understanding and a reading of what is happening in your body. And the reason why I decided to study that and to work with biofeedback and with the biofeedback machine is because I realized that when I graduated from school as a holistic nutritionist, the main question was, hey, can I have a meal plan? And I was like, but what would be fantastic for a grandmother might not be fantastic for a 35-year-old man who is trying to lose weight. Everybody has their own makeup. And so doing the biofeedback allows me to see what is missing from your body, what your body is lacking. And when I see what's missing from your body, either vitamins, minerals, what's happening with your bones, what's happening with your lungs, what's happening with your digestive system, all of those different areas, it takes 29 areas of the body. Then once I do that and I get that reading, then I can then say, perfect, these are the supplements and the nutrition that you need, or let's put together a plan that works for you, Desiree, or for whoever it is. And so I wanted things to be a lot more specific for each
Right.
person.
So is that an actual machine that you connect to the
That's
person?
right.
Yes. And how long does it take for that?
How long does it take for the whole procedure, or just for you to be in contact with the machine?
For the whole procedure.
The whole procedure is an hour and a half.
Okay.
It takes, yes. So I get the reading and I go through each area. And of course,
Right.
people will have questions, but I really like to be detailed. And it's so interesting because you can see how different things connect to each other in the body. So when things are lacking, you see how they affect other things in the body. So it's huge. For instance, you may be dehydrated, and then you'll see this is why there may be issues with your digestive system. So you'll see different things. So yeah. Very, very interesting.
That's amazing. I think you may have a new client with me. That sounds very, I think everyone needs to do that, because we always tend to focus on one area. And like you're saying, it's everything combined. So
yes.
That is definitely interesting. Someone's already asking, how does one get in touch with Roxanne? Roxanne, start sharing. How does one get in contact with you? We're letting you already.
In two ways. You can go to my website, which is nutritionbyroxanne.com. Or you can send me an email at nutritionbyroxy, which is ROXY @gmail.com. So those ways you can get in contact with me.
Awesome.
And I also have a Nutrition by Roxanne through my Instagram, so you can also do that as well.
So follow the handle. Okay, awesome.
Follow the handle, Nutrition by Roxanne. You got it.
And you're also a fitness professional. I was first introduced to that when you were doing a thing with the Lion Circle men. With the fitness. Remember, that was a couple of years ago. But
yes.
Tell us more about your fitness professional. Just seems to kind of cap off all these other things that you're doing as well.
Yes. It does. It was fitness that came first, and I realized that even though you might be, or a lot of people were coming to my classes and people were getting great results, but some people felt that they should be getting faster results. And I also felt like I wanted to help them. I was like, what can I do? So of course I said, you know what, this is also outside of myself as to why I got into nutrition. I felt like it would round out the way that I helped my clients. So I wanted them to have complete coaching from me in both fitness and nutrition. So yes.
Wow. Okay. Roxanne, like I said, you can see your passion. What motivates you? What motivates you every day to do what you do?
Do you know what? Weirdly enough, knowing that there's more. I love fitness because there's so many forms of fitness. And so I love different things like high intensity interval training. And I love that because it is, you're just moving from one exercise to another, and you're utilizing muscles, you're stretching, you're doing, you're using weights, you're in cardio. So I love change. And so knowing that, it's so spicy to me. I feel like, it's so spicy. And if you don't like that, you can do dance. If you don't like that, you can do Pilates. If you don't like that, you can swim. If you do. So I feel like I'm so motivated by the fact that there's so much to learn. Like there's so many little bits of things that you can incorporate into your fitness or your fitness routine. You do not have to be sedentary. So,
the way you put it, it's like a fitness buffet.
Yes.
Like a fitness buffet.
And I love Girl, I love a buffet.
That's what I'm saying, a fitness buffet. Grab what you want, and it all is all you. I heard someone once say, you don't have to exercise, you get to. So choose something that you enjoy and do it, right?
Exactly. And the other thing is that it's one of the things that we can control in life, right? So there are things you can't control in life and you've got to let it go. But fitness is something you can control. You can do 20 minutes, 30 minutes, morning. You can just fit it into your life. So it's one of the things in life you can control. So I love that. I like to maneuver that. So yeah.
Very good nuggets you're giving us. It's one of the things in life you can control. You cannot control sickness if that's something that's genetic, right?
That's right.
But you can control your health as best possible by doing the right things. And before
Yes.
you do it, know your body is what I'm summarizing what you're saying there. Know your body type. Because what's for me is not for you. And I know when well, I won't say my age. When I hit a certain age, I almost gave myself away. My body switched, and I was wondering what happened. I went to my doctor. I thought I had a thyroid problem. I was getting everything checked out, but I was fine. But it was just that my body switched, and it's
That's
learning yourself, right? So.
That's it. And that's what's beautiful about it, because it's not just for one. And even though you go through those different stages in life, which is why I love it, because I myself have gone through different stages. I've gone through car accidents. I've had to rehabilitate myself. So everything that I was used to doing was no longer the case. So I had to flip it. And that is what really helped me to improve my program, understanding that different people really need different things. So that's what it is. Yeah.
I guess that kind of ties into my next question, being what is your mandate at Fitness by Roxanne?
Okay. So it is so simple. My mandate is to help people achieve optimal fitness one day at a time.
Wow.
I say one day at a time because when people come to me, they're like, I have a wedding next week. What can you do?
Yes.
Number one. And number two, it's not just for one day. It's a lifestyle. So it's one day at a time, just like life is. It's just one day at a time. Keep doing it, and it becomes your lifestyle. So that's what it is. Like
that's
easy
powerful.
she goes. Yeah, easy she goes, and just a little dedication one day at a time.
Yeah, and that follows through everything in life, one day at a time. So with your health, one day at a time, with your fitness, one day at a time. And I know I fall into that category. I don't have the patience. I want it now, like snap, and have it just appear. But unfortunately, that's not been invented yet. So for now, we'll have to do one day at a time.
Yes.
So tell me some more about the programs that you offer. I know you have quite a few specialized programs. If you can touch on your core programs for me, that would be great.
Okay. So since we're talking about, since this is Senior Living 411 series, I will start with the seniors. And I really love that program. So in totality, it's a package. It's a 9-week package. So it can be condensed into whatever it is that anyone wants it to be, but I like 9 weeks. I find it gives people the opportunity to get to know each other, feel comfortable speaking with one another. And it is a program that incorporates not just physical activity for seniors, but all the other areas that are important. And I might encroach upon anything else that you ask me, but I feel like there are some yes, there are some core areas that are important. So I like to cover balance. I like to cover memory. Memory is extremely important for seniors. So I go through and I do various exercises. So I teach and I train about nutrition and educate about nutrition for memory and brain boosting. And then we go into activity, right? Balance. I do the same thing. Balance is important. Every day that goes by, you lose a little bit of your balance. Every day that goes by, there's a little bit of what's happening with your memory. So we have got to fight the things that we can control. We go right back to that, right? So what else is there? I feel like I'm missing some things. So there's social wellness. So right? So that gives seniors the opportunity to just talk about things and issues that they have problems with. So I really like them to give me some of them before it starts, if they have a couple of topics that they'd like to. But a lot of times isolation is a huge thing. And because isolation is a huge thing, then I go through and I teach about ways to open themselves up and not, so the program alone is helping to prevent isolation.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so a lot of people, so a lot of people tell other people because they do this and they realize it's interactive because it's your program. So it needs to be interactive.
Right.
And so just ways of creating connections with your family, with your friends, and so on. So I teach about that, obviously about nutrition and play. Play is extremely important. I mean, we played from we were small, we play on the schoolyard, we're teenagers, what have you. So just learning how to play is a
Wow.
huge one. So I do incorporate a lot of fun things that have to do with coordination and dance and so on and so forth, and just to get people just moving and having fun. So it's a lot of that. It gives people the opportunity to either get up or sit down and just move their body and just work with each other.
Wow.
So I love that program. I love it.
Yeah, what I like about that is I also work with a senior home care company, and one of the
Yes.
things that we stress is that our mantra is to bring joy into someone's life. And when you talk about what is joy, what we say is that what a person enjoys in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, it does not change because they're in their 70s, 80s, 90s, or even 100s. So playing, if a person was always playful when they were younger, they're going to be playful when they're older. And we have to remember that because these little activities like you're talking about are little elements that bring them joy. And that's really what it's about at the end of the day is adding that spark to someone's life in whatever it is that you're doing. And I can
Yes,
see that
that's
you're
exactly it.
programming. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
I feel like if you haven't had the chance to either laugh or smile or your face brightened up, what's the sense in coming out for it? This is a program that's for you and to bring joy. And I feel like education should be joyful. Right? I feel like once you've come out, and especially you're a senior, you heard a lot of things. And on top of that, you've heard a lot of people trying to tell you to
yeah,
do things at this point, right? So it's almost like people don't want to be, spoken to like they're a
yeah,
child.
yeah.
You are an amazing, fun-loving adult. It's just that some of the things that we're doing and some of the mechanisms for doing it will be a little bit different, but you still should be leaving with a smile on your face, for sure.
Amazing. And are these
Yes.
meetings now virtual with, or were they in person before? Now you switched to virtual, or what's happening? Were they always virtual?
They were always in person, and now so with everything there's oh my goodness, what do we do now? So working virtually, and I also work with my doctor with certain things, so it is a bit of a challenge getting things done virtually
Yes.
because for seniors it may be more difficult. Also working with the city of Toronto with some of the programs that I work with, we have been trying to figure out a ton of things. We've thought about creating CDs and sending them to the seniors
Yeah.
and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. So for right now, it is a little bit more difficult because the physical and in-person engagement is what it is that worked best with the seniors. Unless the
Yes.
senior has someone to help them to set these types of things up, we would be leaving a lot of people out. So
It's
we're
true.
still, yeah. But we're still working on ways to be able to present this to the seniors, while, overcoming the barrier of dealing with technology. So
Technology,
yes.
and that's exactly it. That's the biggest barrier is the technology. I remember the other day we had my aunt-in-law. We told her to do a selfie, and it was
Oh,
hilarious trying to get her. She did it, but it was quite hilarious even getting her to take this selfie and take a picture of herself. It was really cute, but she did end up doing it correctly. But I
that's
definitely see
good.
where that could be a barrier for them. Now, I would like you to clarify what is the difference between fitness and wellness? Because as I was reading over what you do, I thought, that's a good question. Most people probably bundle it all together. Can you
Yes.
clarify the differences between for us?
Sure. With fitness, this is something that has to do with a physical aptitude. So it's either your ability to achieve a certain physical feat. It has to do with your physicality. It has to do with the level of health you have. So, there are different tests that can test that. So,
Right.
you're running when you're doing stress tests, so that's your level of fitness. Right? So some people might do it, in terms of your physical strength and so on and so forth. With regards to wellness, that moves a lot more into what I was talking about when I talked about holistically. So wellness has to do with your full circle. So it has to do with your relationship with yourself. It has to do with your relationship with others. It has to do with the way that you are currently seeing and viewing yourself right now. It has to do with your state of mind. It has to do with the way that you connect, the way that you balance your life. So wellness is a much rounder view of the things that are a part of your life, the moving parts of your life, and the way that you're handling and balancing them. So wellness is just a measure of how you're balancing your life, your relationships, and your relationship with self, and the way that you deal with external things that come into your life. So that's more wellness. So that's what I would say differently. Yeah.
Okay, that's a real round. It's a round. It's again well-rounded. Like you said,
Yeah.
wellness, the way they intertwine. It's the whole person again that you're dealing with when you incorporate that.
Yes. Absolutely. If you aren't well and if you aren't feeling good because of the fact that you have moved to a place where you know no one and you have no relationships and you have no friendships and you've left your family, you aren't going to feel good, and your level of wellness is going to be low. So that has to do with now your environment and what's happening there. If you're going through a divorce, so that has to do with the personal relationship that you have and so on. And if, of course, you're not feeding yourself well and you're stressing and so on and so forth, that alone is how you're treating yourself now. How am I treating myself? Am I giving myself the things that I need in order to be well? So yes, that's what it is.
Exactly. One of the activities I've done is that we ask people, when you want to put yourself into the mind of how it feels to getting older and having to move or downsize, is if you were told tomorrow you're going on an island and only take 5 things with you or 5 people with you, right?
Yes. Yes.
So imagine not being in a position where this is a reality and you have to do this. Imagine what they're feeling and how that affects their wellness.
Yes.
And that's a very powerful question. Touching on exercise, what types of exercises are appropriate for someone who's older? Would you gauge it at activity level before, or how would you recommend something like that?
When I do exercises for seniors, I think they love it because number one, it should be functional in nature. So right now you want to make sure that you're doing things that are not going to overstress the body. Getting your weights in your bar and squatting with extreme heavy weights would not make sense. Again, we were talking about how as you get older, certain exercises change. So as much as you feel like you're building one part, you might be breaking down another. So we don't want to do that. So I really take functional things into consideration. The fact that you have to sit down and stand up. So you can use aids, you can use a chair, you can use a chair to balance, you can use a chair to make sure you get to a certain point. So that's extremely important. It's very, very important for them to understand why they're doing things. So when I have you hold on to something and lift the leg, that's balance. I say, when you go outside and there's a little patch of ice, I'm strengthening your core right now to make sure that this is going to help you with your balance, right? Depending on whether or not seniors can engage in, falls prevention type activities or exercises, then we conduct those. And of course, they understand that if something were to happen and I were to slip, I understand how I am to brace myself or how I am to fall to protect myself. So there's the least amount of damage to my body.
And also how to get up from that fall as well, because that's another process that people don't know, right? So do you teach them how to recover from a fall as well if it should happen, God forbid?
Yes, I know, God forbid. Yes, absolutely. And what's even not crazier, but I do that with my adults now because it's unbelievable how little strength people have and are unable to get themselves up off of the ground. So I in teaching the seniors and having the seniors, excel at this. And then when I teach my adults can't do it at all, I'm saying, okay, we've got to strengthen you for when you get to this point as well.
Exactly.
So, preventative it would be great to start from now. So yes, most
definitely. And I know sometimes we see these people who are in their 90s, 80s, 90s, these seniors that are really muscled up, doing bodybuilding. That's not really recommended for everyone, right? That's more of a lifestyle that person has led, and that they're now older and leading the same lifestyle.
That's exactly it. I mean, I feel like for some things, you know, genetics may play a part, possibly the way they've lived their life has played a part, and they're able to do some of these things. But that is the rarity to be bodybuilding, and that, and even the way that you're going to build the body, it is, you know, a little bit difficult, more difficult to get to that point at
Right.
that particular age. So that would really stress your body to get there. But you do
Exactly.
really want to make sure that your muscles are taut, your muscles are doing what they need to do in terms of getting you standing and moving and walking. We want those muscles to be active and activated, but to put too much of a heavy load is not the best idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And do you
Yeah.
come to the home to visit people? If someone wanted, a senior wanted to, because right now everyone wants, people want things in their home. So do you do home visits?
Yes. And so that's what it is. So I've had to definitely, I mean, right now at this point, because of COVID, you know, you need to
Yep.
make sure that you're masked and you need to make sure that you're safe precautions. And there's so much cleaning involved, but it's really, really necessary. But yes, absolutely. There's a lot of, there's a lot of people that come. Weirdly enough, it's a lot of women asking me to come to help their husbands because a lot of their
Yeah.
husbands are just not mobile. So husbands,
Wow.
go and walk with your lady. You know, when your lady says, come and let's go exercise, please do it, because I'm seeing so much of the deterioration of senior males. I'm seeing that so much
Really?
more.
Okay, they're
Well,
less
when you
active?
yes, because in my classes, the majority are already women. So it's the
Wow.
women who are saying, great, now I have this time. Now I can get in and get fit. And
Mhm.
you know, people will ask me, they'll say, can my husband join the class? And I said, this is not just a woman's class. This is
Yeah.
for everyone. But it's the women at this stage that are taking, that are more proactive in taking care of their health. So, you know, we've got to get our men on board with
We
that as
do.
well.
I think
Yes.
that starts from young, because even with us as women, I'm pretty sure most women, we go once a year, get a checkup. Men
Yes.
tend to go when something is wrong. And when something is wrong or bothering you, there's not the time to go because it's been developing and manifesting itself. So
Yes,
you're
exactly.
definitely right with a proactive approach
That's
of
right.
attending these classes and doing these things, because the time to start is not after you've fallen. And
That's
that's the whole part of the educational process, I think, for a lot of people. And I mean, I see it. I'm sure you see it.
okay.
Are your services covered by insurance benefits? Or
They are not holistic.
okay,
Holistic practices are not covered. We are working on it. We are working on getting them covered by
yeah,
insurance. So hopefully
yeah,
soon that's something that will happen. But no, for right now they are not. No.
okay, all
Yes.
right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Roxanne, what's your favorite quote?
Oh my goodness. I have a few. I have a few of them. There's one of them. What do I have? One of them is, I know it's weird, but you know, when people say, you know, okay, hopefully everything is good or be good, and I say if you can't be good, then be good at it. So I know it's the
Yeah,
craziest quote,
yeah,
but for me, I'm just like, whatever it is that you're doing, just be good at it. Just
yeah,
enjoy it and enjoy it to its fullest,
yeah,
right? And the one that is life happens, honestly, you just have to live life day by day. Because if you do not live, like life happens as you live day by day. And that's just what I'm fully believing. Even though you have plans and you make plans, everything that's happening day by day is what life is, which is
yeah.
why you have to take the little moments and enjoy today. As much as
Right.
and we as women, we like to plan for everything. We
Yeah,
like to plan for everything.
yeah,
So sometimes it's so important to just live in the moment and
yeah,
understanding is
yeah,
what's happening now.
yeah.
So yeah.
I
Yeah.
I did a wellness program. It was offered by Yale during the
Yes.
lockdown, and it was a wellness program. And one of the activities they had us do was actually document once a day a moment that we actually took the time to enjoy. Because I think so often, especially in this society, when great moments happen, we're too busy trying to film it or take a
That's right.
picture or
That's
share
right.
it on Facebook or Instagram. Sometimes we have to take a pause and just embrace the moment. The
That's
best
right.
memories I have are in my head, you
That's
know.
it.
So
That's
and
it.
yeah, then that's a whole part of wellness as well. Enjoying, embracing. When you
Yes.
really do that, it can almost bring tears to your eyes. And this sounds kind of mushy,
Mm.
but when you really embrace the moment, it really can do that to you.
That's exactly it. That's exact. The other one is, and as soon as you said it, I was going to say it, and I'm like, this is the other one. It's never take life too seriously, or you'll never get out of it alive, right? So come on, let's just things will happen. Let's squash it. Let's squash it. Let's get through it. Let's try to forgive it, or at least get past it and just continue. Because in doing that with seniors and doing work with seniors, it's just a realization that just life will just go, and it will just pass. So we want to make sure we're enjoying as we go along. That's huge for me. That's huge for me.
And I agree. I try to embrace it every day of my life. I am touching on what you were saying before with one of your quotes. One of the things I always tell my daughter: if you're going to do something, do it. If you're not going to do it, don't do it. So it's the same concept. Are you going to do it or not? There's no midpoint in doing anything. Decide and do it or don't do it. Because it represents you. And it's your brand. It's you. It's your being, right? So just do something if you're gonna do it. Roxanne, thank you so much for being on the show. I am planning to do a series of shows in November, which is Fall Prevention Month. We could talk offline, but I'd love to have you back to probably demonstrate some exercises if we can work it out. To demonstrate some exercises that we can possibly use to show our older people and everybody in general, actually, because we're all getting there. We're all going to be there one day, and anyone can slip and fall. Truthfully, that's my biggest fear in the winter, is to fall. I think the older you get, those bones can't handle it. So just you have to be able to. So Roxanne, give us I guess I don't know what to say. That's crazy right now. What is your vision for your business in the next 5 to 10 years?
Really, I would love to tell you the honest truth. I would love to create a group, because I really believe that getting older is not the end. So I want to create a group / system. Like, I'm all into, programming for groups where really it is all over. So it's Canada wide, it's US wide, and so on. And it's all about turning back the hands. So turning back the hands and understanding that you're living to be young. So creating this program that I have and just moving it just all throughout. Let's just start with Toronto. I had a bit of a halt with it because of COVID, but I would really love to move that throughout Toronto and have that, and then have everyone come together, for, different things. And we do different things like fundraising and so on and so forth. So just creating purpose amongst these groups. So that's what I want. I would love to have a turn back the hands. I'm not going to tell you what it's called, but it is a group. It is a group that's about turning back the hands and just loving and embracing being a senior. So yes. I
love the concept, and you definitely have to keep us posted on that. Roxanne, tell us once again, give us your closing words, and also tell us how we can get in contact with you.
Absolutely. Just remember, living one day at a time. Remember, preventative measures is the way to go. We want to make sure that we're living a life that is holistically well, and holistically well within our hearts. And in order to contact me, you can contact me at Nutrition by Roxanne on my website, handle IG, Nutrition by Roxanne, or email me at nutritionbyroxy@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Roxanne. Once again, you've been watching the 411 on Seniors Fitness and Wellness. My guest today was Roxanne Francois. Roxanne, thank you so much for joining us. You have so much spunk, so much energy, and again, you radiate passion in what you're doing. And it was great catching up with you, and definitely look forward to seeing you in November, when we can probably show them some little 5 or 10 minute tips and tricks on simple, easy exercises you can do at home.